brunch. But I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Now, you know if I'm on brunch, I am
It'll be a mukbang.
It's going to be chatty McChat. Y'all gonna know the business. I'm gonna have to use because in my mind I'll be like, now you don't need to say that. You know, my mind got to be on.
It's because it's not an audience in front of us, so we forget that it ain't just the two of us in the room.
And then y'all in the know.
Welcome to ThoughtsNaGlass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered, real, raw thoughts on all the topics.
So sit back, grab your favorite glass of adult beverage or non-adult beverage, and join us on a journey of real, fun thoughts that we have about a wide range of topics.
Period. So every week we do a drink of the night. Kendra, what's our drink tonight?
So tonight's drink, we don't have a video. Excuse us, we were chit-chatting while I was making it. And I said the video was not videoing. But we just did a simple sangria. We, of course, a couple weeks ago went to Robin Hill Winery. Yeah. So we used one of their wines to make the sangria. And so we have peaches, mangoes, pineapples, strawberries, blueberries. So with a sangria, you could kind of add whatever fruit that you like. Thank you. We did also add a little bit of peach schnapps just to kind of take that bitterness on.
Cheers.
And that peach schnapps makes it taste so good.
Yeah, it's a good sangria. A red sangria. So we could have did a white sangria too.
Maybe next time.
Okay, so it's July.
It is July. And so with July, the theme of this month is Disability Pride Month, National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, and French American Heritage Month.
Okay.
So it's I want to say in these months, like June, July, I don't know what they have for August, but they have a lot of different things. A lot of times it's usually just kind of one-ish things, like for African American History Month, things like that. But
it may be other things in the month. It's just not as popular, so we don't.
That's true.
Talk about it.
That's true. That is true.
Because isn't it Black Music Month or something like that too? I think I heard that on the radio.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
Well, whatever. Those are the themes for the month that we know of.
So, and I know that we all have had someone in our lives who have had, especially being a minority, having mental health issues. So, and I'm glad that we are all taking that more seriously now, and not just calling them crazy.
Yeah,
and we're saying that it's other things that can cause issues in relationships and being able to have communications and different things like that. So we want to always give each other grace, because I think we've all learned that all of us are on some type of a spectrum. And it may not be the communication part of it, but it may be how you act, it may be how your anxiety, all of those things are part of the spectrum. And it's just basically how we're wired. And so we're across the board. Some things work, some things don't, but just giving each other grace in that. But then also understanding that even with having mental health issues, you have to be able to or ready to understand your diagnosis so that you could be the best person and show up as best you can. And then also with your mental health, if there's someone in your life that has not taken it seriously and it's affecting your mental health, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Because you only have one life to live, and the only person that got to live with you every day, baby, is you.
Yeah. So, how was your week?
So the week was good. My oldest turned 18.
Oh, that's right. She had a birthday.
Oh God, I have an adult woman in my home.
Yes,
young woman still, but yes, an adult woman. And so we're going through which is kind of easy for me, a little bit more difficult for her, the transition from parent to now we're like friending.
Yeah. And
I'm not one thing I will not do is try to parent my adult children, even though my mother's like, she's 5 seconds of being an adult, Kendra, but still I just want, we're now having real conversations. And
I think it goes from like you kind of being the authority to you being the guidance.
Yes,
now. Like,
exactly.
You don't need my permission, but here's the guidance.
Right. This is what I know.
Take it and do. You grown. Take that guidance and do what you're gonna do with it.
However, the guidance is preferred that you take it, because when life happens, you're going to come back to mom to fix.
Or when you don't take it, you got to deal with the consequences as an adult. Like, I gave you the blueprint.
Right.
You didn't want to follow the blueprint.
Right.
Here's the consequence for not following the blueprint.
Right.
You going to suffer those consequences.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to prevent, because I know the road that with so many, people, putting themselves in bad situations just because you want to hang out with friends, especially with narcotics and things being so widely being able to be used. Just trying to look, right now she's not drinking, she's 18. Don't be taking drinks from people.
Yeah.
Get your own stuff. Don't be smoking people's devil's lettuce. People just doing a whole lot of things, or ride in the car with it, because you have no idea how quickly your life can go from having a good time to being pulled over because you are black and it's 2:00 in the morning and it's a nice car and they just feel like it. And now you calling me from somebody's jail talking about something. I don't know what happened. And people spiral that quickly. Yeah. And you have no idea. So just having these conversations. So last night she went to her first club. Okay. She went to Ultra Bar. She said she had a good time, but we had this conversation earlier in the week, and so she was like, I already told the person I was riding with, don't have nothing in his car. I don't want no issues. I said, being able to be vocal like that, and someone being like, all right, cool. You have to get to the point where if your friends don't want to listen to the things that how you want to be comfortable in their space, you don't need to be in their space. Right. And those aren't your real friends, because you're not doing anything that's not going to also protect them in the long run. So that, what else did we do? Yesterday we went to Six Flags.
Oh, nice.
Because because Dee's brother, this is his last week here before we leave to take him back to South Carolina. So we did do that. Joshua was on the road, like the little kiddie roller coaster. He went on the couple of other little rides. He had a good time. We went in the pool. When I tell you, we got in the pool. He was on the pool slides, everything. And so we got him. He doesn't like the water just like on his chest. So he has a swimsuit that has the long sleeve. Yeah. So when I tell you that man was up there and had water, you couldn't get him up out of there. So then got him dressed. We only made it to, and I don't know if you remember Six Flags, but we made it from the wave pool area to the front, Now they have like a gate where you can, for you to be able to go through to get to the so basically where all the games are. Okay. In the pools. He was already asleep. And when I say sleep, I mean down for the count. Wow. So, but he had a really, really good time. So that was cool.
We so this week it was my brother's birthday. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we celebrated his birthday. We had a pool party at my uncle's house. And I'm really close with my siblings and my cousins, so we all was at the pool party. We had a really good time. My little nephew, he also likes the water. My sister got him one of those little wetsuits as well, and I think that made him more comfortable.
Yeah, just out here.
So I was surprised at how well he did, though, to only be 5 months. Like, he really enjoyed the water.
Well, I will say this: if you start a baby off early, getting into the water and stuff, they do better. Yeah. They definitely do better.
He seemed to really like it. Like, he was kicking his little legs, and he wasn't too irritated with water splashing in his face. So, that was fun. I haven't been in the water, and, well, I guess every summer I do, but it's kind of like a whole year. Yeah. And so, child, when I tell you that water beat me up, that thing beat me up, okay?
I gave you a run for your money.
Yes, I was sore. I was tired. Like, it just... And then, too, like, I think I be doing too much.
You do. You get in there and your mind be like, oh, I remember. Muscle memory. And the muscles be like, I don't want to remember. And I'm not doing this shit.
The muscles be like, we remember, but we're tired.
We're tired. We're 30. We 30 plus, as they say.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I was definitely doing
Your
too
mind
much.
be playing. The mind will play the biggest trick on you every single time.
For sure. I had to take an Advil. I was like, why are my arms so tight? Like, my back is sore. So, but I had a good time, though. I really had a good time. We just hung out. We bonded, so that was super fun. And then my brother wanted to do an escape room. So we did the escape room. That was super fun. Actually, the one in Waldorf, it's pretty nice. They're low key. It's a smaller company, but it's pretty nice. Yeah, like the escape room was fun. It didn't take us too long to get through it, so I would recommend it. Like,
I love it because we did an escape room.
We did.
We did our double date. That was a good time.
I was telling them about that too. Yeah. I was like, the last time we was in the escape room,
we was like, hit me, please.
So that was fun. And then I know you watched. We all watched. Well, maybe not y'all, but we watched.
We watched all our friends. Our friend get renewed their vows, renewal, and then we were sitting on the estate side because all our friends seemed to be at the damn party.
Our friends in our heads.
I'm speaking it into existence.
Okay, period. Friends. Our friends.
They just out here.
They out here. Yeah, friends of the pod.
Friends of the pod. Drag on.
So if y'all don't know, y'all know we are huge fans of Kevin on Stage and his wife, Kevin Fredericks and Melissa Frederick. We love Kevin and Angel's podcast, Here's the Thing. And so
Gooseby and Tank,
yeah.
Well, let us tell it.
And then what's Mel's?
I'm not a lawyer, but.
And then they have with her and Melissa. Gin and Juice.
Yeah. Yes. And then for the couple is the TBTB.
But it's over now.
I know, it's done.
So, anyway, y'all can watch us now that TBTB is over. But anyway, so we really enjoyed all of their content. We've been following them. And so recently, this past weekend, Melissa and Kevin renewed their vows. And then they for people that are in their Patreon, they live streamed it. And so we were able to watch it. And then if you follow them on social media, they were posting all the photos.
Yes.
But then a bunch of other creators that we like
were
also in it. So it's like
DeVal and Kadeem. We saw Jackie and I can't think of her fiance's name. I can't think of his name. We saw
Tab and Chance,
Angel and Marcus, Mel, of course, and Gooseby. Duran was there.
Duran.
The gentleman that was on there. I don't know if you guys ever watched their show that was helping them sing. Sing. But he's also was with Taraji P. Because he's I
think he's a voice coach.
Voice coach, exactly.
Yeah. I can't think of his name right now.
But
is it Stevie?
It might be.
Yeah.
But when I tell you that it was podcast.
It was star studded.
It was YouTube studded.
It was YouTube studded. A lot of the creators were there. Keith Lee was there.
And his wife Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
All of the friends.
Yeah.
Tab Chance was looking a little, trying to be up on Tab. I never see him like that. I said the love was in the air. So.
Yes.
How now, because this will be how many years for you?
12 years in October.
So, seeing their wedding, does it make you be like, oh, I wish I had done, or maybe changed this, or?
No, I think I may have said this before. The only thing I wish I would have changed about my wedding was having my stepdaughter there. But and I guess now in retrospect, some of the people who aren't really a part of my life that was a part of it at that time, I do wish I could go back and change that. I know me and my cousin talked about this, and I don't know why at the time I didn't think to have my cousin in it. I don't know what was going on with me, with my headspace, with where I was at, but I do kind of regret that a little bit. I'm like, dang, I don't know why I didn't think to add. Like, I had my girlfriends in it at my wedding party, but I didn't think about, like, I'm really close with my cousins. And it just kind of went over my head for whatever reason.
A lot of times I think we think about, like, your bridesmaids are your friends
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and then family is just gonna be family.
Yeah. And maybe that's what it is. Like maybe I just at that time just kind of took for granted. Like now I can appreciate that my family are my friends.
Yeah.
Like these are the people who have always been a part of my life and are gonna be there as the friends come and go.
Right.
But I mean, I was 26, so at that time,
and I'm trying to think, 12 years ago, that means all of your cousins are younger than you, so they were.
Yeah, but like Ruby.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like I just didn't
think about it.
I was more so thinking like, oh, my friends. You know, I mean, I had my sisters in it, but I don't know. I was young.
Yeah.
And more in that mind space of wanting my girlfriends. You know what I mean?
Just a good girlfriend.
Yeah.
As they say.
But now that I'm older, I probably would have incorporated more family, and then not having my stepdaughter there, that just I really wanted her to be, but that battle, you know, with her mom and not everything not being where it needed to be, I chose to be like, I'm not gonna fight the battle. If she don't want her to be a part of it, then fine. But now, years later, things are different, and looking back on those memories, she wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
And it kind of bothers me that she wasn't, because it's like, it's not that I didn't want you there. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like I should have fought harder for that. So that's the only thing I would have changed. Otherwise, I felt like we really did have a great experience. When I see them, though, the thing that I kind of glean from them is how I don't know if, and I hope, I would like to feel like it's the first time after 20 years.
Yeah.
Because I really think that that's what they brought home from me. Like, they've been married for 20 years, but it felt like they was getting married for the first time. Yeah, that you could feel the love.
Yes,
like it really just felt like he was seeing her for the first time, you know, walking down the aisle, and just like,
and then the kids, the son was crying.
Yes, so I would, that is something that I would take from it, is that I would hope to incorporate that in my own marriage, that we still are deeply in love and still feel.
I think they were 21 and something, 20.
Yeah.
20 and 21 or 21, 22, but still those same kids.
Yeah.
That are like overly, like so overzealous about marrying each other. But now you have the history behind it. Because what I liked about Melissa's vows was when she was like, to having her to hold Andy, you know, all of the things through sickness and health. So I think that we talked about this like on their podcast with Tab and Chance, and one of the things that she mentioned, because the question was basically around after 20 years, like something about the vows or something like that. She said, with being with somebody 20 years, no, the vows that you're taking now in comparison to when you first took them.
Right.
And so you're taking these vows, and you've only known this person, but you really have hope that this is going to last. Yes. And so now 20 years later, you have done the sickness and the health. You have done the richer over poor. You have done the, I'm about to kick you in your face. You know, you've done these things. And so now you're actually going into the vows of, oh, I've been here or been there, and I know that we can make this. Because now the hard part is over. Yep. We are who we are. We are going. We know that we will fight for each other. Yeah. I don't have any question. Like before, you nervous because you questioning, will this man fight for me? And now we've gone through something, and I know that you will.
One of the things that the officiator has said is that loyalty is something that is not proven until it's tested. So you can say I'm loyal all day, but until that loyalty is tested, you really just talking out your neck, hoping. Right? You just saying anything. Yeah. And I like that, because it's so true that having those years, you know, putting in that time. Yeah. I've proven that loyalty has been tested, right? Yes. And I'm still here. And so now we can look back and be like, oh no, I know she down. I know he down. Like, I know I have a loyal person because we've gone through stuff and they're still here.
Especially going through when y'all was broke, living in there, and now to see where they are, it's like that. It shows the full dream of the little girl, right? But then it also shows the resilience that they have had to uphold the vows that they did 20 years ago. So I mean the things that I took away from it, of course, the vows and the love between them, and I think they've shown that on so many different platforms, and they've shown it, so that has never been in question. But the thing that really hit home for me, for being the type of person that I am, the village that they have created.
Yes.
Especially, as much as people talk how bad Hollywood is, the type of community that they have fostered from now these people that are that they consider family, that have transitioned from friends. It's like that is what I want.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
It seemed like so seamless, and I'm not going to say that they didn't have, because there were people in their lives that were not there, that there was a trial and tribulation that you thought they were going to be really good friends, but just didn't mesh. But realizing like that doesn't stop you, that doesn't stop them. But the people that they had there, like we listed all of the folks, and it's like you've seen them on maybe their channel for a one-time thing, but they are so supportive on the background of each other. Like I don't hear like Kev, talking about certain people on a regular basis and this, that, and the fourth. It just seems like, I was on. They were on their channel. This is how we maybe have been was presented to us through them, but you could tell that they continue to foster a relationship. On the back end. And it just seems so like people were like genuinely.
Yes.
First of all, now, even though they're all creators, a Wednesday ain't nothing for no creator, because you still gonna make your content, right? You came out on a Wednesday.
I mean,
to the Mexico.
I think it is something. You
no
know what I'm saying?
Children.
Like, even though they do have that freedom in their schedule, it wasn't convenient. And those people made time. And that stuff like that is important to me. Like when I'm doing something that's convenient for you, I've made it easy, I've paid for everything, it's right down the street, of course you ain't gonna have no problem coming. But when I ask you to go far, to pay money, and to take off from work, now I'm really gonna see who's
right, because you can't maybe go to that business meeting, you can't go to this podcast, you have literally possibly said no to a bunch of things
to say yes to me,
to be able to say yes to me.
And that's real. That is real support.
Because you could say yes to me, and then now you've not be able to do something else with your own family, because it's like, okay, well, I went to the wedding, so I'm not going to be able to go on this vacation because I really do gotta get mash this in. But it's like the willingness to, and it just shows like I'm your friend, like I'm here, I'm a part of your community. If you need something, if you down bad, I got you.
And granted, they have been planning this for 2 years, so people really did have. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't think she sent her invitations out 2 years in advance, but I'm pretty sure she sent them out well enough in advance so people could plan. So like, I don't think it was like, oh, stop everything you're doing and show up for me. But it's still not convenient.
Because even when you're like, I'll say for maybe the vow, like if he's recording, you still
or
are
if he's filming.
That's what I mean, filming, because you can record, anywhere. When Angel talked about her schedule and the things that she's doing, especially with her new music video, things that have now popped up, because a year from now you don't know if you got anything going. I can say yes,
so true.
But Tab with her, all the things that she has going on. I think Ronnie, the next day they were leaving, because I think they were still in Mexico. I think 2 days later it was the BET Awards or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that because I think Erica Campbell, who was at the wedding, had to leave the next day to do the BET thing.
So did
her sister.
No, Ronnie and
Keith.
And Keith. He was like, oh yeah, we have to do that tomorrow. So even with that, I now have to leave here from Mexico, fly to the BET Awards, like to get myself together to still do something. It just shows the level, because you could have been like, well, you know what, I don't live in LA, so now I gotta fly wherever, this and the fourth. Angel has to deal with her kids, she's dropping them off, they're flying in, then we gotta fly back, so it just shows the level of, and there's people that don't have things going on, but they got a nice community from what it looks like. But I tell you what, I would not mind a destination wedding. The only thing is I don't like, now they have more free time. Not free time, but they're home.
Yeah.
That's when I say free time, I don't mean that they don't have a busy schedule. Not working a 9 to 5 does give you the opportunity to have different conversations at different times. They don't have to be at a location.
Yeah.
But so I would like to put hands on things.
Yeah.
And when you really have to just put faith in somebody else to plan your entire stuff from afar, my nerves racked.
I don't know. I would. So if you had a destination wedding, drop down in the comments and give us your thoughts on it. But I feel like it's the same. Like it's stressful the same.
I would imagine.
Like I feel like when you're here and you're able to put hands on,
you're just doing too much now.
And then when you're there and you're not able to put hands on,
you're just doing too much now.
I feel like it's the same amount of stress.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to do a destination. I think that was super cute, and because I realized like my village is smaller than that, I don't know if I would do like the bridesmaids, and things like that. I think I would do like she did, a color scheme for everybody, like so that everybody feels like they're a part of the wedding. So like everybody is the wedding party. That would be what I would prefer.
Who did their wedding where that all the guests wore white? Was it one of the housewives?
I don't know, child.
All of the guests had to wear white, and I think her dress was like red or black.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, I like that too, though. I would love. I mean, but I'm always down for a good event, so I would do a vow renewal just because.
We gonna renew these vows. Start over.
But my husband ain't. He don't be wanting all the fanfare and all the attention on him, so he wouldn't do it. But I would do it just because, like, just for the event, just for the, you know what I mean?
The fuss and the muss and the fuss. Yeah. But it was so nice. And then somebody, and he had shared it, Kevin had shared it, had taken a picture of them, they were in the pool. So it looked onto their, what's it called?
The little platform they were on.
Yeah. And so you saw the water, and it basically looked like they were standing on water. It was so nice.
Yeah, it was so nice. And she looked so good.
She looked so good.
She's always cute, but she looks so good.
Kevin looked good. He done slimmed down.
Now, that is one thing that that has kind of been on my mind, like maybe for 15 years. I was like, I need to get my body together because well, I don't even have to guess. I know I can't fit that wedding dress. But get my body together to get back into my wedding dress and then just do like a photo shoot. I would do that. I mean, we took pictures, but one of the things that we kind of, I guess, I'm not going to say drop the ball on, but like, like that photo session, it takes a long time. And so, because not that time was limited, but because we couldn't spend so much time taking pictures and then miss our whole reception. We couldn't take so much time taking pictures in the beginning and miss the ceremony. Yeah. So we did take photos, but I wish we could have taken more. And like, I was afraid to, we had our wedding on the beach, and I was afraid to get the dress dirty. So I didn't want to like do pictures like on the sand, and like, at one point in time, my photographer was like, how do you feel about getting in the water? And I'm like, hell no. But now I feel like I would do that. Like, I would get back into the dress, have him get into a suit, or if he wants to do the same suit, and then like take more adventurous photos. Like, now I don't care if I get the dress in the water. Like, it's 12 years old. You know what I mean? So that's maybe something I would do like for our 15th, is just like get back into the stuff and like, just take some really fun pictures that either maybe we didn't have time for, or maybe like I was scared to take, you know what I mean?
Take a picture like on his bike or something.
Yeah, like on his motorcycle, just like fun stuff that like in the moment you thinking like, I don't want to mess my dress up. Although I'm like, girl, you only wore it once. Like, what would it have mattered? have it dry cleaned after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's literally
but
what I was
in
thinking.
that moment,
it just doesn't.
Your mindset is like, I just spent so much money. I'm not getting this thing dirty. But that's how my mindset was. Yeah. Now, in retrospect, I'm like,
girl, dry cleaners,
tripping.
Right? Take it to the dry cleaners.
You was tripping.
Heavy starch. Get it all out.
You was tripping.
Yeah.
So I would do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you want a big wedding? No. No? Mm-mm. So now after seeing that, you're like, I could just do a little something.
I've always been like that though.
Yeah.
Because I'm very close hold to things that are important to me. Like even my kids' birthday parties and stuff. I don't do big celebrations. I like who are your friends, get your core group of people, and then let's do something. I've always said this. If I wouldn't invite you to one of my kids' birthday parties or my birthday party, I'm not inviting you to my wedding. Okay. Because I'm also paying for you to eat and all that. Yeah. I'm not doing that. So, and then it's just like, I want the people that are there that's been investing in us. Mm-hmm. I'm not inviting you just for the show of it all. Mm-hmm. I'll show you, send you the pictures for that. Yeah. Live stream it if I have to. Right. But I just want something like small, intimate. Yeah. That's why I said me going to, now he not a beachy person, but like for me, going to the beach, like going to an island. Yeah. And then staying later to do like after the ceremony and stuff, and then still being there for a few days and do the snort. Like that for me would be ideal. Yeah. I think that would be cute. That would be nice. I think that would be like a vacation for every, like let's just have a good time. It do, but it don't. I've done destination weddings before, like been in it. For at least the one I was in for the wedding party, I didn't feel like I got a vacation. I want it to be so chill that it's like getting married was just like, oh, that was just something that we did because it did. So I think that's how they wanted it to be, but I think that the people that came, we spent a lot of time running around making sure that they were enjoying themselves because we knew the reason for being here was their wedding. That's we ain't doing none of that. When I have I'm like, now certain things that I won't be able to necessarily do if I want to like put my hair and stuff like that. That'd probably be the only time for like, braid this sucker down and give me a wig. Put the wig on the mannequin because I'm having a good time, man. I'm out here. And a ball. Yeah. So it would be something like that, or that would be the thing of it all. But don't fuss over me, baby, because I'm gonna have a good time everywhere I go. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's more so on us because they didn't ask for that, but you know what you're there for. So it's like, if you see the bride and it's like, oh, her drink ain't right or whatever, like it starts to, however that person's feeling bleeds onto everybody else because this is supposed to be your wedding weekend. Yeah. And so if you're not having a good time, then everybody else is like, oh, we need to make sure they having a good time. I'm not drinking that right. I'm like, I'm gonna still drink this, but can you bring me a such and such and such? We're having a good time, baby. Yeah. So yeah, but it was really nice, and I'm glad that they gave us the opportunity to. I know. Take a sneak peek into their love. It really was. For me, it was the wedding of the year. Honestly, like they did the thing. He had his last post he put. He said, "Now Kevin and Melissa just rubbed it in our face." I was like, "Yes, I wanted to be there, and I did not get my formal invitation." Right. I will say, I loved her idea of a digital invitation. Oh, I love that too. That was so cute. That was so cute. That was definitely a market. I wonder, and not to be in their pockets, but I'm really curious about how much all that cost. It was a nice piece of change. But like how much? Like, do you think it was $1 million? I think it was more than that. Damn, that's a lot of money to spend on a wedding. 20 years in though. I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of money to spend on a wedding. Well, I don't think it was just about the wedding. I also think when they first got married, they were broke. Right. So it was like, so it's not like we're going to break the bank on this. This is something that, first of all, realizing I didn't have to have a wedding in a church. Like, they have come for, they are not the same people that they were. Yeah. And if I got it, I'm going to spend it. I get it. He working at Spectrum. He in the mailbox now.
And she did say that she got a lot of her own brand deals.
Yeah, because you have to think about it. Anything she posts, people gonna be like, okay, we'll give you a discount on this if you post this.
Yeah.
We'll give you a discount on this if you. So where they've gone, more people are going to see it.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, well, that's the hotel that they stayed at. Oh, they had these villas, they had this. So even with the people that were invited doing the same thing, showing the hotel and showing this, especially the after the fact, because you don't necessarily show as much while you're actually there. She had like, who was the photographer? Who was this? And people are going to call these people. Yeah. For that, even the person at the pool. Yeah. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, where are you located? Right. So you're going to get bits of discounts across the board.
Because you know that they're gonna bring clientele to you.
Yeah, you know what kind of clientele these people gonna bring.
So you're saying it may have been worth $1 million, but they may not have actually paid that because of brokering deals. Okay.
And then you did, especially dealing with whatever wedding planner that they have. Yeah. If that person has connections, different things like that, of course. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, they are of a celebrity status. Yeah. I'm not sure what. Like, I'm gonna say this. Who got married? What's them people? He went to jail, and they said he was a clone. It's on the tip of my tongue because the lady does the spank, not the spank. She does the waist trainers. Anyway, they always have the basketball games. She got the humongous Gucci Mane.
Okay, and
Keisha Kior. Okay, yes. They didn't spend that. That was worth $1 million. They didn't spend all that because it was on TV.
So what was it on? Lifetime? What was it on?
Either BET or VH1.
So one of those companies sponsored it,
right? But then it's also some of the other things that they want, like the
brand
jewelry.
Deals,
those are brand
like
deals.
That.
Let's put us on the TV. Like even if the network doesn't pay the whole thing, right? They're going to put these people out there. The wedding planner is going to be put out there. So if I say, well, did you reach out to such and such, and the fact that they tagged all of these people, if you're not going to tag me, so that means I'm going to go to that person's website. Yeah. And okay, they're locally in my area. So what I may usually charge or would have charged $500 or $500,000 or whatever to fly me out, this, that, and the fourth. I'm not going to charge you as much because I know the business that you'll bring in will
compensate for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
and being able to be a part of their, like, I'm sure some of their production people help. Yeah. With stuff. So
looked like Josh was working.
Josh was working slightly.
Okay.
He wasn't doing too much because he wasn't the photographer. He was not listed at all.
No, he wasn't. But I mean, but he was doing a lot of the recording for the live stream.
Yeah, but I mean, you set that up once.
True.
Because it wasn't a live stream at the.
But I bring that up to say that was this a business trip for him if he was working? I don't think so.
I think that. I believe that they pay Joshua handsomely. Yeah. And I think Joshua is the type of, their friendship also is like, Josh, you set the line because you are our person to. Yeah. Kev, don't worry about it. I'll make sure that's set up and I take care of that. Because sometimes as your friend, there's some times that I'm just not going to charge you to set up a live stream. Yeah. But I also know you pay me handsomely and you've taken me to Tokyo. Right. And paid me to go to Tokyo. Like, Josh has a Tesla in a new house.
Right, he good.
And he's just fine. He is just fine. I ain't seen him taking out an air photo at a concert in I don't know how long.
You know what?
Okay.
I didn't even think about that.
Josh is all right. Josh is golfing. You hear me? He is teeing up. So, but yeah. So again, that's why I say when they've had these friendships and things. So. But yeah, such a nice. If y'all not on their live, definitely you'll get a snippets and glimpses of it.
Yeah, if you follow them on social media,
follow them on their social media, and I mean all of them. And everybody was posting something.
I found it easier to just, if you want to look at it, look up the hashtag Forever Fredericks, and then it'll show you. You don't have to follow individual people. It'll show you everything that everybody posted. Yeah, I found that easier because some of them I don't follow. Yeah. So, but I just wanted to see the wedding stuff, so I just went through and scrolled through that. Yeah.
So nice.
We could skip this and just jump right into the main.
Okay. So our main topic for today is: what are your views on attraction and keeping yourself up in a relationship or after marriage?
So for me, when I hear that, I think of just physical.
Okay.
Like when we talk about attraction, I feel like attraction is physical. And then when we talk about keeping yourself up, I feel like that refers to like physically keeping yourself up. But maybe not, and we can discuss if it doesn't mean that.
Okay.
But for me, I feel like once you get deep into a relationship, you get other things that you kind of. I'll say it like this: you might have been initially attracted to somebody physically, but then once you make a bond and a connection with that person, it's other things about them that you are attracted to.
Right.
And so, for me, when I think about, is this man a provider? Is he, an equal partner with me? Are we sexually compatible? If he's checking the boxes in a lot of other areas, but he's put on some weight, or he's no longer working out, or maybe when we first met, he was into designer and now he's wearing Target. Honestly, I don't care. Like, it's the other stuff is way more important to me. And then I look at people like, no shade at all, but I look at people like Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we saw him just walking down the street as a regular dude, you're just a regular dude. But because you have the money and because you have the fame and the status, now you're getting these...
You're getting attached to a different type of group.
Yes. And that kind of proves my point as far as attraction and appearance. That these women that are coming after you now, if you didn't have the money, you didn't have the status, and you didn't have the fame, they would probably not be attracted to you. Yeah. But because you have these other things, it outweighs the physical. Right. And so I feel like that works both ways. That if you have these other qualities, even without being rich, if you have these other qualities that somebody finds valuable, then your physical appearance is not all that important. And maybe for men it's different because I know men are more physical. But I challenge that because I think even for men, yeah, you might have been attracted to her physical appearance at first, but as you've gotten deeper into that relationship and this woman done had your kids, she done took care of you while you were sick, she has really shown
up for you,
and that she has value outside of her physical appearance. So now when you're looking at her and she's 75 pounds heavier, right? Or now when you're looking at her and she's, not wearing the weaves and stuff like she used to, or she not keeping her nails done, or whatever you may consider not keeping yourself up. But you're like, hey, she's not doing all those things, but I see the other things that she is doing. To me, I just feel like in a real relationship, not a superficial, not this fake stuff that's going on now, that shit doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter. Like, you be like, I done really been through some shit with this person. I'm not tripping off some dumb stuff. Right.
So I'll say this. I think that sometimes we especially women, put pressure on ourselves because a lot of men do not be tripping.
They don't be.
But as women, we're told a lot of times keeping a good figure because it's the other women out here that got a better figure that will do all of the same things or not, but they just look better, right? You have the 80-20 rule. We talk about it all the time, or think about it with Why Did I Get Married? And Jill Scott was not the size 2 that he wanted, and then he's dealing with this other girl that she's a size 2 because she don't eat, and she only want to do this. She only want to eat out. She only want to eat at this place. She only wants. So now you're like, yeah, that's not really what I want. Yeah. But I do feel like if you make it a priority to take the pressures off of me, then I have because a lot of women do want to, like, I would love to work out, or I would love to do, I need this for myself, I want to do facials, I want to go get my hair done, but then I have to go to work, take care of the kids, and then try to figure out a time to do so, or I gotta leave work early, which then messes up my whatever's going on, because we both have to put into this household to make sure that it thrives.
Yep.
So if I shortchange myself, because it's not going to take me, when you can go to the barbershop and it take you 30, I'm going to give it an obscene amount of money, 35, 40 minutes to get your hair cut, and it takes me 2 hours. Mm-hmm. We not playing in the same ball game.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you have to set if you want these things from your wife, you want her to have the ability to go work out, you want her to have the ability to go get her hair done, this, that, and the fourth. If she doesn't do it for herself because she cannot, or because of whatever's going on, it's your responsibility to make sure that she can.
Yeah.
If this is what you want from your wife, hey, I made you a hair appointment. I know you've been, and you ain't, and it may not be the full. You might be like, oh, she just out here looking crazy, because we are a representation of our spouses. Mm-hmm. You be like, I know you've been busy. I know you got. I put some extra money aside. Take this time to go take care of yourself. I made you a hair appointment. Like, it's your responsibility to also treat that person good, because she's helping you take care. Not helping, but more often than not, it is the wife who is taking care of the children, making not just. You can say, "Oh, I washed the dishes," but she did the backstage work of going to the grocery store, getting the food, preparing the food,
planning the meal.
It's all of those, that extra mental gymnastics. So when you say, "I washed the dishes," great,
right?
Thanks.
Yeah,
you did one thing after I have prepared the whole thing, getting off work early. This, that, and forth. It just doesn't be because you washed the dishes. It would have been great. Or not just that you cooked, because you cooked the food but left the mess in the kitchen. Well, at least I cooked dinner, but I still also had to clean up. The kids were still a mess because the homework wasn't done. It just becomes a whole thing. So sometimes it's the gesture of, I see you and you're deserving of more than this.
And like, I think what you're saying is create an environment for that significant other to keep themselves up. If that's a priority for you, like, create an environment for them to be able to do it.
Clock it, as Jayla would say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I think too, maybe because there's a side of this where, like, checking in with the mental health, right?
Yeah.
Because why would somebody? I mean, everybody's different, and maybe some people are just putting up a front, and then once they get you, they're like, okay, now I ain't got to do all this no more. But I'm going to say for most people, I would like to think for most people, if I was always kind of keeping myself up, and now that I'm in the relationship, I'm letting myself go, maybe there's something going on with me.
Right.
And so, like, check in with that too. Like, is there some postpartum depression going on? Is there, anything going on? Like, am I having issues transitioning into the relationship? Right. Maybe I've experienced some traumas, and being with you is bringing that back up and causing me to fall into a depression. Maybe I am just depressed, and you met me at a time where I was in a good space, and now I'm in a bad space. Right. Like,
it's just being overly attentive to each other.
And you should be. Yes. If this is a longtime partner or a spouse, you should be.
Well, I feel like anybody that is in your space that you find fancy with, you should be checking in. That's even with friendships.
That's true.
It's across the board. If you find me attractive, we've been hanging out, and all of a sudden you see something, it may not be for the benefit of you that you figure out what's going on with me, but just because you want this person to always be better.
I totally agree, because even as friends, we can hold each other accountable. Like, girl,
what's going on? Child, these kids and this, that, and forth. And then for me, I would be like, okay, I would send maybe a text to your husband, hey, we just had lunch. She is really struggling. Can you? She needs some more attention. And be that advocate, because sometimes she might be a little afraid to be it, or whatever, or feel like, as they make us sometimes as people, you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he don't make enough money. You're not, and so your family make you, or friends or whomever, makes you feel like you're not doing enough. So. Second question. Excluding medical reasons, Is falling off or letting yourself go acceptable?
I mean, not purposely. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, not purposefully.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm struggling with that one.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you're intentionally doing that, why are you doing that?
Right.
And is it the other person's responsibility to, you know what I mean?
So I feel like it is your spouse's responsibility to hold you accountable because it's
No,
not.
but I mean, is it their responsibility to? I was meaning it in like, should they have to deal with that if you're purposely, you know what I mean?
No, I don't think that they should. I don't think people should have to deal with someone purposefully saying, "Okay, well, I'm gonna just sit here and eat bonbons." Or we got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you're fine now, but if I'm in this for the long haul, I'm also thinking about if you are letting yourself go, you're not keeping yourself healthy. That means when you need aid, you're going to be looking for me to be the aid.
And I think, to me, I think that this, even though I guess this would be considered like a medical reason, but I think for me, the first thing I think of is substance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're purposefully overindulging, and causing yourself to go into a space where now you're falling off from how you, like, if you wasn't, let's say for example, it's smoking weed, right? If you weren't smoking that much when we first met, but now you're smoking all the time, and so you're always high, you're never able to, like, get up and clean up, or you always smelling like weed every time we try to go somewhere. To me, that could be a example of somebody purposely falling off. Like, you weren't like this before, but now I feel like I can't take you anywhere because you always intoxicated and you smell like weed. So, and me as the other partner, should I have to deal with that?
No, I don't think anybody should have to. But before you decide to, I think it is your responsibility to raise the awareness of it, so that there's no question.
Right.
So if you say, "Hey, I don't like this. This is how this is making me feel. This, that, and the fourth," but that means just with that person via therapy, whatever it is, and there's no change, it's your responsibility to go about your business.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's like with jobs, with all type of things, if there's no change, and what makes, this is what I said at the top of the hour, your mental health is also important because you're the only person that has to live with you.
That's true.
And it is your responsibility to, hey, this is not working for me. If you love that person, I'm telling you this because I love you and I need you to do this to love me. I can't do that. Then I can't allow you in the space to continue to bring me down.
Right.
Because allowing someone to bring you down and then you being the only person that bring you back up, it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah. It's gonna drain you.
Yes.
It's gonna drain you.
It's gonna take you out.
And then there's gonna be resentment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you carry that resentment to every other relationship that you're in. And that is not a fun time.
So we're gonna finish it up with this. So this was a question. So when we did our live, people were asking questions, and we didn't get to all of them. And this was one of them that came through from the live. Okay. So it said, so their question was, why do women say, "Well, you know how I am," to excuse bad or disrespectful behavior? But I say, why do people in general do that? Because it's not just women that do that. What are your thoughts?
Child, this be hitting home a little bit. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that is an excuse to not do better or be better, because doing better or being better and failing is worse than just staying where you are. And I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it, and I be calling folks out on that.
I think that you know how I am is,
I know a baby poops in a pamper. That don't mean that it's gonna be doing that for the rest of their life.
You know what it is? It's not wanting to be held accountable and trying to make it, it's normalizing not wanting to be held accountable.
And not having to change.
And not having to change. But on the flip side, because I've said that, right? But understanding that people don't have to accept that. True. So I think that if that's going to be your excuse for negative or disrespectful behavior, you also have to be prepared for people to yeah. Because I have been in situations where I'm like, you know, I know people may not like it, but that's just how I am. But I also have to be like, but I know people may not like that. Yeah, and so if you don't like it and you don't want to deal with me because of it, I'm not in a space where I'm fully able to change. So I have to accept that people may not want to deal with me because I know how I am about something.
And then the other part of me is like, if it's a onesie twosie, cool. If everybody feels the same way, then for me, Kendra, this is something you need to check because it's a problem. Yeah. It's not, so if everybody's saying the same thing and my response was, you know, this is how y'all met me, after knowing somebody for over a certain amount of time, there should not be the same patterns of everything. There should be some evolvement of, because if you see that it's detrimental to some of your relationships, there should be a point where it's like, okay, well, you know what, this may, even though it's comfortable for me, or it gives me a security blanket for whatever trauma I'm dealing with, I can't put this on everybody. Yeah. I'm putting it on everybody because it's like, as they say, if your pet snake be out with all the snake that's going to, you know, kill you, are you going to wait for your pet snake to come in and let others in? No, you're going to just shut the door to everything. But then also it's like, I get that to the extreme of it all, but you also have to do some things of having a better discernment. Yeah. Because if I see that the snake has stripes and I know that I'm just going to not deal with that snake. Yeah. So I think people try to take things to a full extreme, where it's like, no, there's some discernment on. You also have to love people in the way that they need it to. So if that means you have to be a little bit softer on this, where on this person you need to be a little bit harder, that's okay. Yeah. Everybody's an individual, and you just sometimes can't be the same with everybody. I can't be the same mother across the board with my kids. Everybody needs a little bit something different. This one is a little bit more sensitive, so I can't be as, you need to do this, you need to do that. I have to communicate differently. This one needs somebody to be in their ass, because you give them an inch, they taking 2 or 3 miles. You have to, we want to be, sometimes we as human beings, we want to be so restrictive, and this is who I am, so love me how I am, instead of widening it ourselves and saying, okay, this is what I need to be loved, but then I also have to be
more dynamic. Yeah.
And loving someone the way you need. Especially if I find value in who they are. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would just say, and to caveat that, if you don't want to change, then you have to accept that people aren't going to be a part of your life.
And you're going to be sad. And then you can't be saying, well, I don't understand why people don't.
Yeah, no. You fully understand.
you don't understand that people do not want to deal with your bullshit.
And then that's why people don't want to deal with you. But then people
will give you make excuses.
And no, people have to, when somebody tells you who they are, you have to believe them, because I have seen some people that are like, yeah, you know, I gotta, I'm gonna just say a nasty attitude. I got a nasty attitude. That's why I don't have a whole lot of friends. Right. But then you'll have some people that'll be like,
change that. Yeah. Or we always want to change.
You ain't nasty with me. You know.
And the moment they nasty, oh, you nasty and rude. Well, I done told you I have a nasty disposition. I told you I'm gonna bite you. I'm a snake.
I feel like that happens a lot in relationships. Oh. You know, people will show up in a relationship and tell you exactly who they are. And they'll tell you, hey, this is you. Why you been single for so long? Well, you know, I have issues. I have trust issues. They're telling you exactly what's the situation. This is why don't nobody want to deal with me, because I have trust issues. Then you feel, oh, they're so nice, they're this, they're that.
Save a hoe.
They told me the truth. They were honest with me.
So I think that I'm going to show up and be better. But this is what's the tricky? This is why it's be tricky. Because somebody will tell you something, but be so different.
Like, it's like you're telling me you're this person, but you're showing up so different.
I got trust issues, but being like, oh, I love your friends. You got, and so in the in the dating stage, it's like, oh yeah, go on and hang out, and I'm gonna hang out with my friends, and it's no problem. We all cool. Mm-hmm. We talking about 6-7 months, maybe even a year, and then all of a sudden it's like, why are you going out with such and such? Well, now I've been with this person 25 times. Why is today a problem? So it's also
but then they'll start saying, well, I told you. How I am. Well, I told you I had trust issues.
Well, wait a minute. Well, wait a minute now. Now, wait a minute. Because you're acting as if, oh my God, you have made this so much easier for me to trust you. And then all of a sudden, and it do be, now you may do something that is untrustworthy, or you have now you've done something that sparks something that somebody else did. And now it's like, oh, I got trust issues. Well, my thing is, for this last year, you've been fine. So there's something that has, now what is your triggered issue? Yeah. Because that is something really different. Being able to trust people is not your problem. Your trigger of what has happened to you is your problem. Let's fix that.
But that wouldn't be the other person's responsibility to fix that, though.
No, so the hard part of trying to fix something is, the only way you'll know it's wrong is if somebody else
points it out. Yeah.
If I'm cooking food and I'm the only one that's eating it and I never see a problem with it, and then somebody else eating it be like, this is some bland ass shit, I wouldn't know it was bland until, because I'm my own, maybe this is how it's supposed to taste. That's how I'm thinking. And everyone's like, I made this the other week. Baby, this is not, where's the pepper? Kind of thing. Oh, I put some in it. No. But you won't know unless somebody else is in your aura. Yeah. Or in your space. So.
No, that makes sense.
So it's not your responsibility to fix it. It is your responsibility, as our proper responsibility as people, to hold people accountable for how they are moving in our spaces.
I agree.
So.
That was good.
Yes. So with all of that, this is a good episode. I hope you guys have an opportunity to look at some of the things from Kevin and Melissa's wedding, because again, it was a gorgeous time.
It really was.
Especially if you're in the process of getting married. Just look at some of the ideas.
It would be, to me, it's inspiration.
It's very much so. Or if you just want a dream, because ain't nothing wrong with the good dream. I will say, for couples, I think one of the things that you should do, they still have it up there. I think it was like 4 years. Love Hour. They had the Love Hour. And that, my friends,
it was so good.
It was
so good.
Good time.
It was so good.
Those episodes.
I may actually start going back and rewatching those.
I'm going to say, those were my therapy sessions.
Yes.
Those sessions for me have caused me to be a more evolved woman. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Just a good time. And they still, those recordings are still very much so relevant and what we need today. Mm-hmm. So I definitely would recommend you guys checking those out. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you
like, subscribe, hit the notification button,
and get down in them comments. We trying to do another live sometime this month. Yeah, it's a busy month for us with the holidays and the full jumping into the summer. So we're going to try to figure out a new venue so that you guys can kind of hear us better. We can try to make sure that we have all the stands. I was thinking about maybe
brunch, but I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Now, if I'm on brunch, I am.
It'll be a mukbang.
It's gonna be chatty chats. Y'all gonna know the business. I might have to use because in my mind I'll be like, now you don't need to say that. My mind got to be on.
It's because it's not an audience in front of us, so we forget that it ain't just the two of us in the room.
And then y'all in the know. Okay, y'all see how we were the last live. We talk about all positions and all type of craziness. So we got to pull it together, but we're going to try to do another live because we really had a good time. We hope that more of you guys get to chime in. We'll try to do it at a more convenient time, maybe like a Sunday or something like that,
we'll
like afternoon, whatever. But I think that's everything. Did we say it all? So with that being said,
we'll drink to that.
Have a happy 4th of July.
Happy Independence Day.
Cookouts. And we'll see you next time. Bye.